Welcome to another episode of Drunk Cop and a Teacher, the podcast where everything's made up and our comments don't matter, just like any consideration for spoilers in this episode, because we are just going to go straight forward into talking about Spider-Man No Way Home and all spoilers involved with this. So this is your warning. This is spoilers. If you're listening to this right now and you haven't seen the movie, go meet up Ham somewhere for a drink, watch something else that he probably just finished recently, and then come back to this episode and hear and us talk about this movie. But Ham,
happy anniversary, Aaron!
That was the salt. That was the salt and pepper you wanted us to.
That was just the salt, man. I'll give you the pepper later.
All right, let's.
I don't want to salt you.
Let's address the elephant in the room. Just what did you want to get that you saw before we start talking about Spider-Man? We're not doing it.
I didn't see anything. I did stuff. Just came back to cruising. You see me? I'm fucking burnt. Also,
that was like your regular.
Also, I got a new job. I start in January 4th.
Hey, we take a toast.
Yeah, you do a real toast.
Hey.
No, we already did a toast. We did two.
We did some toast before, but yeah, we'll see what happens. I'll be working with Dr. Screwdriver right down in the center of town.
I have no idea what the fuck any of that meant.
Just pulling it all together.
You get a job in the black market?
Dr. Screwdriver, not a star, but a
tool.
I think you got a job in the black market. I swear. I don't know.
Either way.
He already owns the black market.
January 4th. See you guys there.
Oh, that's racist.
Okay, so Spider-Man No Way Home came out. I've seen it twice already. These guys have seen it once, although Mike's got another one lined up tomorrow.
Yes,
You said
tomorrow. Yeah, so the recording's on Friday that we're doing it right now. So by the time that you're listening to this, I've seen it twice.
Yeah.
And I'll be drunk.
Yeah, we want to dedicate this whole episode to it because, I mean, it's hard to review this movie without kind of going into a lot of the details.
Yeah.
And I know Ham is worried about what I have to say about this movie.
I have one thing before, and then I'll let it keep rolling. What was that quote? You're not disappointed, never disappointed. Says the guy's like, I don't care about this movie. This guy was
never
like,
said I don't care about this movie.
No. Do you remember when he's like, no, he said, he was like, I don't care. Whatever comes out, it comes out.
No. But
what? You remember what he said?
What I remember, what I recall from what Sal said was that this movie is not going to get a green card from me. That's for sure.
Oh, that's what he said.
His expectations are low for this movie. He doesn't expect this movie for it to be like meeting the hype.
I thought I heard something else, but all right, I'll keep it up.
No, because people keep asking me, "Are you excited for this movie? Are you excited for this movie? Are you excited for this movie?" I said, "No, I'm not necessarily overly excited to go see this movie."
Not excited about the movie. That's
Tom
fair.
Holland is not. I'm not a fan of his Spider-Man. Okay, we're gonna recap this. You know, Tom Holland is not my favorite Spider-Man. I don't mind him as an actor. I just don't like the way they're writing him in the MCU.
So, not excited about the movie is fair.
I guess so.
You guess so.
I just wanted to go in and watch this movie, and I wanted to watch it twice for sure. One, to just try to enjoy it as it comes, and then the second time to really nitpick the shit out of it. So, and that's what I did.
Okay.
No one knows my actual feelings about the movie.
Not even Grace. Say hi, Grace.
My girlfriend's back there, doesn't want to be partaking in this episode. Not even she knows how I feel about this movie. There's only one person I texted to that I sent a gift to, but that even was vague. Yeah.
I think you send the same GIF every single time. That little robot thing.
No. This one, well, no, I won't say it yet. But
okay.
I'm not gonna look up the scores or anything for it. The only thing I know is that Rotten Tomatoes it started off 100%. I think it's now 95%.
It went down to 94.
94. Is that still the highest of all the Spider-Man movies?
Yes.
Yeah.
So far, yeah. And the audience, 99.
I have not heard a single negative thing about this movie. Not even when I was in the movie theater, I didn't hear I don't know. I just didn't hear anything negative at all. Just
also, let me start off with I saw it today, Friday,
a couple hours ago, yeah.
4:20, and it was packed.
Well, yeah.
I had tickets to another place by a mall, and I'm like, oh no. Like 10 minutes before, he's like, oh, we'll trade it down where. And he's like, yeah, we'll give you 2 seats all the way at the end. Luckily, it's 3 back, not in the front. I was like, oh God, at least we got tickets. 2 people. Still, I enjoyed it, but I felt like people weren't expressing themselves, like laughter or anything.
I did see online, social media wise, that there were some people saying that the theater said nothing at all or isn't expressive, and then there's some where obviously like endgame crowd, like people cheering, yelling, and whatnot.
But I think the difference between Thursday and Friday should be
both times I went. It was endgame crowd. People were yelling and cheering and clapping and crying and all, going through the whole.
So the Boston leaking, I think, somewhere.
My crowd was mid,
so half and half.
They were half and half. There was some laughter and some, cheering, but
I will say that
I was expecting more.
I think it was the loudest one in the theater.
I will say that it was kind of a cool experience to go back to the movie theaters in that type of situation.
Oh shit! I was like, did Spider-Man kill pandemic? COVID?
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I'm trying to get out of the theater.
Because I know it was Shang-Chi. Like, the crowd wasn't that big and that loud.
No, not at all.
Nowhere near to that level. I unfortunately did not get my Spider-Man bucket, asshole.
You didn't get it?
So I didn't. Listen, when I pay $60 for movie tickets, my first idea is not, let me see what themed popcorn bucket they're gonna have, so I can save my money for that after I spent $60 on tickets.
Wait.
So when I went the first time is when because I got there like literally 10 minutes before the showtime started. I sat down. I'm like waiting because I had my AirPods on because I didn't want to hear anyone yelling anything, and I saw I see all these cool popcorn buckets. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta get myself one of those. Okay, I'm going tomorrow. I'm gonna see if I can try to get one. The other theater I went to today, sold out. Completely sold out yesterday, yeah.
What the fuck? Well, I got one.
Well, they had cups, and I was like, I don't want the cup, I want the bucket.
The black cup?
Yeah, I got my bucket. It came with 5 seltzers. And oh no, there was no Spider-Man thing on that. Yeah, it was just seltzers.
So I got the Spider-Man bucket. It was pretty fucking cool. I did say something about the cup, though. And I think I pissed off a Tom Holland fan. I said, man, I don't know why, but his suit, because the cup is with his black suit and his gold and everything.
The reverse suit, technically, right?
The inside-out suit.
The inside-out suit, yeah. I mentioned this, and a lot of people heard me, and they were like, oh my God, yeah. And one person was like, this fucking asshole. I literally heard that.
Wait, what'd you say?
I said, is it me or this suit looks like Killmonger's, Jaeger's, Jaguar's suit?
The fuck are you talking about?
What?
It's black and gold. The cup is black and gold, and it has all that inside suit and everything like that. When you compare it to
Killmonger, we're talking Black Panther's
Killmonger suit.
I've not seen it. Bro.
I'm not seeing it either. I mean, I kind of see it, but then I don't see it.
I haven't seen it, but you wrong.
Put the picture. Put Killmonger's Black Panther suit.
This must have been a post-credit scene I missed.
Put
it. The fourth one actually.
Put it side by side with the cup and the suit, and you'll be like, "Holy fuck!"
What suit are you putting next to it?
No, the one that he has of Black Panther. The one that
you have the suit of Black Panther next to it.
No, like the picture off of your phone.
Okay. Oh, I don't have it on my phone, but
fuck you.
I'm just saying it's.
I don't know. I mentioned that.
Somebody just called you on it.
Yeah, they're like,
you got this stink eye. From
because
just like we just did.
You're not a Marvel fan.
Just like we did to you just now.
Yeah. I pointed it out. My wife kind of realized it. My brother too, and then like a couple people like even mentioned like, "Yo, you kind of right." I'm just saying, but of course I got a lot of stink eye from a lot of people because I kind of I hurt their feelings with Tom Holland and I don't know.
I don't even Tom Holland. It's just a scene.
All right, so let's go ahead and start talking about the movie. Again, spoilers.
Spoilers.
Wait, when are we watching it again?
It comes out 2023. Got delayed like 7 times.
Like the Halo movie. Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Do we want to do cards, or do we kind of just want to do an open discussion and then reveal what our final card is?
Oh, we're gonna do something different because it's
I
Spider-Man
don't know.
movie.
This is a full episode dedicated to it.
Let's
Okay,
just-
go. Can we? No. Let's first, before we do anything else. Actually, I really want to address this. I really want to address a scene in this movie.
Spoilers, by the way. Spoilers.
Spoilers. A scene in this movie that really pissed me off and felt like it was insignificant when it first happened, and this is totally irrelevant to the entire story of the movie.
I'll allow it, but beginning of the movie or the end of the movie?
Spoilers. It's the first post-credit scene.
Oh my god, yes!
Go ahead.
I fucking hated that.
You do something to set up in Carnage that we're gonna have this kind of like.
Oh, I knew that was gonna happen.
This sort of fiasco. No.
Okay,
We know we figured, right? We did talk about it. It was like, oh, eventually he's gonna have to go back to his world. But he literally did nothing in this world other than be you for like a couple minutes.
That's why I was like, what? What's the problem with that? It's the tin guy.
Like a little bit of his goo, just happens to be there.
So they can have symbiote in the universe
That is the
without him not being there.
That is the stupidest reason
Sony.
to do that. It is
PlayStation.
I got so angry when I first saw it. I was like, you literally set this up and then just took it away
It's
just like
Sony.
that.
I was waiting for that. That's why I was like,
Like, you couldn't set up something bigger where maybe he finds it in a lab. I mean, even like the, Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon series, they created it in the lab.
They
the
could have
Ultimate
done it
Comic Book
so
series,
much better,
they created
yes.
it in the lab. No, he teleports, he gets a little, like, paper cut, and then he just vanishes.
Wait.
It's like, oh, it's still
like the
there.
second movie we got bit. Like,
that scene. It reminded me of like Sony's like it reminded me of this. Marvel's like, hey, can we have Venom in MCU? Sony's like, you know what? You can have a little bit of it.
That's exactly what I think.
Here's a little bit of a cake taste.
Yeah.
Just a little taste.
I agree. I don't think they've come to a
What's
deal.
also weird, though, is it's in Mexico.
Yeah.
He's in Mexico
It's
and
not
yet
America.
Spider-Man's in New York.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
how the hell are you going to make that trip? Like,
You know?
He has a green card.
All I'm saying is I don't think they found a deal to get Venom in yet to Spider-Man to the
I don't
MCU.
think
so, but they could still potentially use Tom
because
Hardy as Eddie Brock, though. They could still potentially use him. Unless
In this-
maybe there's some hope for
I
Topher
mean-
Grace to come back.
They could still use Eddie Brock, but they
No,
have
they're
to.
going to use Eddie Brock. But it's just whether or not they can use Tom Hardy or go with someone
Well,
else.
see,
But he did say he was going to fight. I thought they announced it that they were going to have a crossover. Like Tom Hardy and Tom Holland are
what
going to go at
year?
it. So I think Tom Hardy is just going to play another variant of himself in
Maybe
in
it
Tom Holland's
gives
universe.
an out for him to have his solo movie still, and maybe an in for Venom to come in eventually, or do a Venom black suit, then eventually Venom black suit or Spider-Man black suit versus Venom. I don't know.
Can you imagine? Spider-Man is not the first hero to encounter Venom in the MCU. Can you imagine like it's Hulk or like
No,
or somebody else?
I think that could be a reason why it starts off in Mexico. Like once it eventually we'll get somewhere. Like I'm gonna remind me to bring this up
but
again later when we talk about the ending of the movie.
Yeah,
Okay.
but that means Sony has to make a deal with MCU without Spider-Man. So
Okay, do we want to talk about the second post-credit scene because that's also kind of irrelevant to me. So this is the previews of our
Yes.
spoilers review.
These are the
Yeah,
preview.
we're going reverse.
I think
Because
let's get rid of the post credit
Sure.
scenes out of the
So
way.
the second
So-
I'm
one-
only going to say one thing. It was a sneak peek trailer for.
It was a trailer. It was a Doctor Strange
full trailer.
multiverse
Yeah.
trailer. It was
Which wouldn't have been out by now or no?
I
Regular
don't
timeline.
remember.
not the COVID timeline. Regular timeline.
What this trailer did was the same thing what the first Avengers movie did.
I was gonna ask. I was like, when was the last time they actually ended with a trailer? And I think it was the first Avengers movie they did that for.
So they released a trailer in the movie for Captain America first for that first week. and then the week after
they released it.
They released
online.
it for the
but this movie's already done, basically, right?
For the most part, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're just doing.
This is the next movie to come out.
Morbius.
We're talking MCU.
Yeah, okay.
Yes,
Who the
Doctor
fuck knows
Strange.
where Morbius is
Yeah.
at this
I
point?
don't know either. It's supposed to come out before this movie, right?
I have a feeling.
Originally, I think it was supposed to come out first.
But
Yeah, I
okay,
don't
so
know.
but the trailer though, it was pretty cool. I liked it. Are we assuming the what if
Yes.
Doctor Strange is that who that was
That's what
at the
I'm
end?
assuming.
I need to watch What If.
Oh, you didn't even get? Did you even watch any episodes?
I only saw the first episode.
God.
I thought he said he watched at least one. Maybe two.
I thought you watched at least the first episode, but
I
even
watched-
then, it wasn't. Even, was it the first? I don't think it was the first episode.
No, yeah. The first
the-
episode. The first episode.
I think it was like the third.
The first one had the multiple
Sure.
arms. Yeah, there you go.
yeah.
Which it was in the
So
trailer.
in what it? So spoilers for you.
Yeah.
my bad.
No, that's fine.
Spoilers.
There is a darker Doctor Strange that is in the What If series, and Marvel said that the What If series is canon to the MCU. So
Okay.
that darker Doctor Strange that ended the trailer, I'm going to assume that's the same Doctor Strange.
Well,
but it's kind of weird because, but that's another variant of him, though.
The like octopus thing was in the first episode. That's what I'm trying to.
I don't
tell
think
you.
it's the same one.
I think so.
I don't.
Because also it ends up again. You see the octopus thing when he like
He's
gets
got a
the power.
name. He's in.
Yeah.
Isn't he in Marvel vs. Capcom?
Yeah, that's how I know from him.
And
he's
he
pink.
shows up again. So I think it is the same ish.
Okay.
Maybe I don't know.
I like it. It's pretty cool. Remember, it's a Sam Raimi directed film.
Oh,
so
no.
Yeah, it looked.
I do remember.
It looked really good. I'm actually really excited for it.
Who?
Especially that it's like a scary-ish movie.
it's supposed to have more of a darker, scary-ish tone to it.
Who are those random people with them? Anybody?
One of them, Miss America, I think her name is, like the one with the leather jacket that has a star.
I saw
in the
that.
back.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Which is kind of strange how she fits into the movie.
Hey,
I don't know.
No pun intended.
Oh, only you.
Boom.
And I don't know. It looks like they're gonna go through like recapping a lot of his moments of his life. That's what it seems like. And then we got Baron Mordo coming back with a whole new
Wait,
style.
was he married in the?
I'm pretty sure that's just gonna be like a either a nightmare or a dream or like
It could
a
sort
Yeah.
of happen though. 'cause
They were never
weren't-
married. They were never married, but they were.
Well, that
like,
could have sort of happened in real time, and then shit happens. Right?
Yeah, I think that's fake. I think he's about to get married, and then something like nightmare-ish thing. Something's
Do
going to
we
happen.
think Scarlet Witch is gonna have that much of a role in this movie?
Yes.
I don't think so. I think Scarlet Witch is gonna have as much of a role in this movie as Doctor Strange had as much of a role in Spider-Man.
That seems fair.
I feel like that would be disappointing because
It
the thing
would
is,
be.
because the thing is like after WandaVision, like the last scene, how she unlocked it, like the Scarlet Witch.
Right, but the
Thing.
setup in the trailer was that he goes to her about the multiverse.
And he says, "We need you."
"Yeah, but that could be him and and Wong. Like that could be him and then."
Because remember, Wong is the sorceress.
Spoilers.
Oh yeah,
Just wanna make sure.
okay.
Spoilers.
We find out in Spider-Man: No Way Home that Benedict Wong is the new Sorcerer Supreme because on a
blip.
technicality,
Yeah.
Doctor Strange got blipped for 5 years, so now he lost it.
Yep.
Sucks to suck.
But yeah, I thought
Easily.
I thought the trailer was great. Did you like the trailer, him?
He doesn't feel too fondly about trailers in general.
I want to see more.
Is there a trailer that you like at all?
Pig.
No, the Nicolas Cage one. Okay, no, we're not gonna talk about that. We're not gonna talk about that.
Oh, now he wants to talk about something else. But I'm always waiting to see a second trailer. Even this one, I would actually better than a sneak peek trailer. So say this is the first trailer. I like to see the second one always, but
Right.
it was fine.
I'm not going to see the second trailer.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Okay.
From personal experience, especially from this movie that we're about to talk about.
Because this. Okay.
I just want to be surprised. Like I don't.
The
Like,
movie we're about to talk that we've talked about already.
you know what's so funny? My wife knows about the Evil Strange.
She probably seen it.
It's just because
You're welcome.
her favorite. Her favorite. Yeah. Fuck you. I think The thing is, like, her favorite superhero is Doctor Strange.
Because the actor?
Both. And she does things like he's really fucking cool.
Yeah.
And the actor, too. Like,
what's his name? Yeah.
Cumberbatch.
Benjamin Cumberbatch? Yeah.
Benedict.
Gotta
think Eggs Benedict.
Sorry.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Eggs.
Okay. But that was it, right? They had really those post-credit things really had no significant value to the movie other than
for
what's to come in the future.
And then the bartender was a guy from Ted Lasso, yeah. You haven't seen it yet?
No, I'm at episode 2. I didn't finish it.
He was the... Oh, no, yeah, never mind.
Fuck!
Spoilers!
Spoilers for Ted Lasso.
Okay. No Way Home.
Let's do this.
I don't know how you want to go about this. 'Cause I
don't know how you want to go about this. I need to...
Because again, no one knows exactly how we feel about this movie.
Okay.
I think I could say my card.
You can confidently say what your card is right now.
Yes.
Fuck, I can't.
Yes, I'll go first then.
Alright, you go first.
Green.
I almost thought you would say that.
Yeah.
For now, it's my first showing. Yellow.
Okay.
Wow.
Yellow. I'll tell you why.
I was waiting for the build-up right now. I was like, what? Tell me.
I'll tell you why. During the, because we're going to break this movie down.
Yeah,
from beginning to end.
Plenty of time.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
I have time. I think I kind of know your card.
Count as a
Sal. I think I know your card.
What is my card, Mike? What is my card? Knowing how much I love previous Spider-Man films, minus 2 of them.
Minus 2 of them.
Yeah, minus 1.5 of them, I guess.
I think.
And then how I feel about the other Holland films.
Okay, so I think, the other Holland films, you give them a red card. Because you hate how the story is for this one.
I just think Homecoming's a pointless movie.
Oh, yeah. Well, later on, we're going to go break down of, from best to worst, for sure. I'm going to say that you didn't like the first half of this movie. And then towards the second half, you started to accept it because fan service. So I think you're at a yellow with me.
Okay. Ham went on an adventure somewhere. Ham, what do you think I'm giving this?
I said he's a yellow card for now, right now.
It's your wet dream. I think it's a green card.
It's kind of a weird way to put it.
It's your wet dream.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Like the first, I mentioned this. The first half, he hated it, but then when it came down to the second half and towards the end, he loved it.
When you first, when you first heard about this movie, would you ever imagine, in a million years, those 3 people would be in the same movie?
Spoilers. Throw 3 in the movie.
People, yeah.
No, but I wouldn't say that it was their first idea.
What I will say about that, and I felt embarrassed because I was the only one, I swear to God, I was the only one in my theater Thursday night that did not get up out of their chair and scream and yell.
Oh, really? I mean, it was a Thursday night.
I was literally like this the entire time, and I was looking at people, and I'm like, they fucking talked about this and speculated and rumored this for like 16,000 years since before Tobey Maguire got on Spider-Man. Like, why is this still a surprise for you people?
Yeah.
Like, I was just like, whatever, man, whatever. And the guy next to me, he was like, yeah, everyone shouting and cheering. Yeah, but it's like, we kind of already knew. Like, as much as I even said, I was like, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I don't want him to be there, but if it does, it does. It's cool. But I'm like...
I mean, the first picture that got leaked, it was Andrew Garfield on the scene. On
the scaffold.
On the scaffold.
I did not see any of that.
But even, I just took that as it was probably one of the previous films. I didn't care for the leaks that I saw. It was just because I watched so many interviews or because... it's because every interview that these guys were in... Zendaya,
I didn't watch any of that.
Jacob Batalon and Tom Holland.
I saw
it. Literally, the 2 same questions of who else is in this movie? Is Toby and Andrew in this movie? Like, they literally nonstop kept badgering them on this, and I'm like, Well, regardless, like, that's not the point of this movie. Like, it shouldn't be the point of this movie. Like, yeah, cool, fan service is awesome. Of course, there's a group of people that love Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. There's a group of people that love Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. Of course, we want to see all three of them, but that's not what's going to deliver this movie. Like,
true, but nowadays, with the internet, how fast it is, like, I'd be like,
I'm guilty
hey,
for one thing.
I killed Andrew Garfield. 1 minute later, it's already in it. I feel like they held on to it as hard and as long as they could. Back in the day, that could be done. I think they did a really good job, and then some people were surprised.
I gotta go on with Ham on this one too, because the thing is that like they could have easily like gave in, like put a trailer for with Toby and Andrew in it. Fuck it, go ahead. But they
tried the best.
They tried the best. I think, honestly, they should have just done what they did with Endgame. Just show the 30-second trailer.
Yeah,
and that's it. And that's it.
But I wouldn't even say the trailers did much to really spoil the movie, because even what was shown in the trailers, I don't think was really impactful when you saw it in the movie.
It wasn't.
Like we knew the villains were coming. Cool. Like, we kind of already let that soak in. For me, I was like, I want to know what the villains are going to do. Like, how are they going to fuck up Spider-Man? How are they going to mess shit up? Like, how are they going to get back to their universe if they're going to? Like, that stuff in the trailer kind of just soaked in, and I wanted to just experience the story for, like, what were they going to try to set up in this one?
So, blank, bam.
Goose?
Yes.
Goose, so what is your...
You're it.
Where do we want to start?
All right, let's start from the beginning. All right.
As a blank, Spider-Man.
I think
fucking Peter Parker, Spider-Man.
All right, we'll get it out of the way.
Zendaya.
There we go.
We'll get it out of the way.
Count it. 3, 2, 1.
Green card.
Fuck! Yes.
Good shit.
But not for the reasons you think.
No.
Was I right though?
Kind of. There is one specific scene.
I'm glad I didn't bet on this.
There was one specific scene that sold me. Like, won it for me. That was like, this is the perfect shot. And that one scene was it. It was it.
Was there a catch involved?
Was there a catch involved?
Was there?
There was a lot of throwing involved.
Was there webbing involved?
A lot of swinging.
That's about it.
I'm pretty sure the swings. It's the swings.
Or
let's talk about the first half of the movie, because that was basically the trailer stuff. For the most part, that's the trailer stuff.
Yeah. Where would you stop the half?
I don't like that they kind of quickly wrapped up. Well, we'll get there. Well, I don't like. Oh, you'll figure it out as we get there. I don't like that they quickly wrapped up the whole Public Enemy #1 thing.
Yeah.
And I almost felt like they used Charlie Cox's appearance to just like, oh, it's because it's Charlie Cox. He's Daredevil. Yeah, that's it. I'm a really good lawyer.
I mean, even the trailer made it seem like it was gonna go quick.
I know, but it was just like, I kind of wanted it to soak in a little bit more.
I do too.
Me too. I thought the first half was a mess. I hated it.
It was very fast paced.
It was
just go. And it's like, let's get straight to the villains. Kind of, that's how it felt.
It feels like they already had that for the last
a long time ago.
Yeah, they had it for the last movie.
Yeah, honestly, you could take this first half out of this movie because it's irrelevant, except for the Doctor Strange part. Even the Doctor Strange part, honestly, was kind of stupid for me.
When he was casting the spell?
Yeah, when he casting the spell. It was so messy.
So they didn't do the whole... Doctor Strange acted odd, but not as odd as they made him seem in the trailer.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of curious, because we talked about how the darker Doctor Strange is apparent. I'm kind of curious where that one fits into the timeline with this one.
And where Loki fits in.
Oh, sure. Here's my Loki at this point. But I'm kind of curious, like, if that darker Doctor Strange is the Doctor Strange that was in No Way Home. Because I don't know. Like, there was just some moments where... Because, like, if you think about it, right, the first time that Doctor Strange was trying to...
go that deep, I think.
Or Doctor Strange was trying to cast a spell, he was just like, oh, yeah, everyone's going to forget you. No one cares at this point. And then at the end, when he was like, everyone's going to forget you, and he was, like, tearing up. And I was like, but you literally, like, an hour ago was like, fuck you. Like...
Well, no. So, what I thought, which now when I watched it, I'm like, well, I think there was a difference. First one is like... They weren't going to know he's Spider-Man, but that second one was no one will know Peter Parker.
At the beginning of the movie, no. At the beginning of the movie, he says that he can't reverse time, but he can make it so that everyone forgets Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Yeah. But the second one is...
everybody will forget who Peter Parker is.
Yeah, okay. I'm just like, why couldn't he... Oh, then... But that's what happens.
But then, again, like, if you go another theory route, because technically, does Tony Stark and Aunt May still know that he was Peter Parker and Spider-Man?
Well, they're dead.
Well, no, that's the whole thing,
Spoilers.
right? It's like...
Oh, yeah. Spoilers! Just in case. Repeat that again?
Because... even Happy
repeat.
even Happy doesn't know who Peter Parker is, right? The kid's literally just standing right there, and he's like, "Oh, how'd you know her?" So, like, does Aunt May and Tony Stark still know? Because Tony Stark knowing Peter Parker as Spider-Man was kind of an important factor in that build.
But we're not changing timelines, so
that's the
we're
thing.
just erasing. We're just erasing. So,
like, from that moment where they were at the Statue of Liberty, does it erase?
Since he was born, I guess.
I don't think so. I don't think it goes that far. Because then...
But then...
because then none of that stuff would have happened.
What about Ned? Well, no, it just erased. It doesn't, like, the time travel and all that. It's not like he time traveled that shit. He just erased memories. Erased memories.
Anyway.
Erased memories. Because right. Ned, how long did he know Ned? So, Ned doesn't even know. Or MJ.
Right.
They've known him since, let's say, 5, 4, 3,
2, 1.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just erased out of your memory. It doesn't affect anything.
Yeah, I think they completely erased him. But I gotta say something about Doctor Strange.
It did happen, just erased.
Yeah, I gotta say something about Doctor Strange.
Was he a little strange?
He was a little strange in this movie for me. And I think it's because we haven't seen Doctor Strange after Endgame.
Right.
You know, so...
I mean, what if it's...
Multiverse of Madness is before that. That's the thing.
Well, what if you said is canon?
Yeah, but we don't see Doctor Strange. That's the darker Doctor Strange.
But we see the other one that's like...
Yeah,
the good one.
But the good one was it post Endgame?
I don't know.
I don't think it was.
I don't know.
That's Marvel doing its vague shit.
Yeah.
But the spell scene was very stupid.
I thought it was kind of dumb.
I thought it would have been better than what the trailer showed us. But it's like, no, Peter Parker's like, oh, can we not let her forget? Oh, can we not let him forget? Oh, shit, these 6 other people.
He just got confused or got... He couldn't multitask in the multiverse. It's so stupid.
Peter Parker. Oh, what? Are you talking about Strange?
He couldn't multitask in the multiverse. That's what I said.
But just like in the trailer, right? The spell doesn't work, and it unleashes a multiverse opening. But Strange contains it. But still, he mentions that there are villains that kind of slip by. But
he's still fucked up.
What was still dumb though? He's like, you didn't bother to talk to the admissions people, like, before you came? Like,
I thought that was funny.
Sure, but at the same time, like, it just felt really stupid at that moment. And then that's when we get the bridge scene. Because he finds the admission lady and tries to convince her to be like, hey, please let Ned and MJ go to MIT. Because they all got rejected because they all knew Spider-Man. But he's like, hey, let them go to the MIT. Like, I don't care about me. But don't let MIT be stupid for not letting them in because of what I did.
Yeah. If I want to fast forward real quick, I was afraid they were gonna do that almost like original Spider-Man movie where it's like, oh, they forgot about him, and I'm like, you guys better not kiss, fucking Ned. Fucking MJ. I thought they were gonna go.
Okay.
I know. We're
jumping.
I'm just real quick. We already jumped to the end credit scenes.
Yeah, because that was irrelevant to the movie.
I'm just saying.
No. Okay, hold on.
But that's all.
Let's get a little organized here.
As soon as
wait, Spider-Man. Blame him.
No. But I want to put my 2 thoughts about the spell scene.
Oh yeah.
Like this Doctor Strange, the whole entire time of the movie, I felt like he was very reckless.
Like a novice.
And I don't know if that's because of Endgame, since he was gone for 5 years. So
a little rusty.
You know, I mean, but he did mention that he used his spell when they went to Mexico, apparently, you know. So
funny and dumb as well.
Funny and stupid and stuff
like that. Do you
remember
that? No. Yeah.
Exactly. So, I mean,
that's
my point of the whole entire time of Doctor Strange in this movie. He was reckless and very strange. But after that,
So he's talking to the admissions lady, but then right at that moment he gets his spider senses tingling. And out of nowhere comes Doc Ock. And that's where we get our bridge scene that we've seen in the trailer. One thing that I think a lot of people are going to give me crap for, that although I appreciate the effort, but I think they failed very, very poorly on this, was the music for these characters. Because it was like, oh, Doc Ock, shit, cut, impose that music soundtrack from that one movie. Okay, now we're over, now go back to our soundtrack. Like, it was so poorly transitioned.
So like copy and paste. It's like like not even like a fade.
It was no fade, no smooth, nothing. It was just like
it was
villain.
Forced.
Cue the background music. Okay, now the villain's gone. Now go back to the original. I was like, what? Like it was so it hurt me because the music is iconic to at least Willem Dafoe and Alfred Molina.
For the original.
And then even like Electro when he started doing his like techno like audio thing, it was like for like 2 seconds, and it was like. Carry on that whole thing for the entire presence.
Like a first battle, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. I guess like someone noticed that.
I don't know. I mean, I appreciated like his intro, but of course it was in the trailer of it. And the fight scene, I thought it was actually pretty cool.
I did like the fight scene.
The fight scene was really cool.
The fight scene was.
Which one?
We're going in order.
We're
still on the bridge with Doc Ock. The fight scene was really cool, although. I was trying to maybe try to ignore it the second time I watched the movie, but there's something about just being completely CGI that doesn't give that same weight and same kind of like feeling that like I got from Spider-Man 2 when Doc Ock was like doing his arms and you can kind of see his shoulders shrug like here and there because like he's trying to control them.
Yeah, those are puppets.
Yeah, because they were actual like puppets. They were actual things that four people had to hold and animate. And this one we know because the interviews they said that everything was completely CGI.
Yeah,
and it was just like I don't know. For me, it just stuck out. I was like, yeah, you are literally just computer. Like I don't have a feeling for this. Like it's really cool that he's back. And it's really cool the shit that he does, but I just felt disconnected from the Alfred Molina part to the things. Like I didn't feel like he was part of him anymore.
Says the old man who saw the original 20 years ago.
Last week.
In theaters when it first came out. How
Still
about
has the same fucking impact.
Yeah.
It does.
A kid that's 10-year-old won't even maybe even 20.
Listen, like, even that train scene was real. They were on a real train fighting. You know? But no,
I understand. But newer age people would be like,
yeah. I mean, I didn't really see much negativity about it. I thought it was actually pretty cool, pretty good CGI. Even the aging CGI thing that they did on his face, that you could tell like his face is not really connected with his body as well. It wasn't as smooth for me, at least.
I'll wait till the next.
Because all the budget went towards the end of the movie.
Yeah, pretty much. I think. I mean. Ham, do you guys say anything before I hit negatives about Doc Ock?
Just in that first part?
We're just doing that first part.
Just even that first part. Like I have something negative to say.
I have another negative too. I can't wait to bring this one up.
Yeah, go ahead. He's already excited.
No, go ahead, Mike. Go ahead, Mike.
Well, no, it's my turn. This guy
go ahead.
Go.
No, I thought it was fine that first part before somebody else jumps in. Of course, it's like, oh, you, whatever, nanotech. Maybe that's your thing.
I don't know if it was you guys I talked to about, but I was like, I'm calling it. It was like he absorbs the nanotech. Like he takes the fucking nanotech from Iron Spider.
But also, we have this Spider-Man, this universe. Upgrade technology, whereas if we're still going back, it's like, hey, we got Microsoft 93 or whatever. Windows, I don't know. But,
you should have updated
Windows Vista.
Yeah. Oh shit, you got Vista? No wonder. But yeah, go ahead.
Mike, what did you want to say?
He should have updated his software.
We're really close.
You know, the negative thing I gotta say, definitely for sure, was him getting controlled by the nanotech. I fucking hated that shit.
Well, that's one of my things I was saying about technology.
I thought, honestly, it was the most disrespectful shit you can do to Doc Ock. because the thing is, like, we grew up with Spider-Man 2, and I know people are gonna be like, stop comparing this movie to Spider-Man 2. I'm sorry.
He's ripped straight from Spider-Man 2.
He's literally stripped from Spider-Man 2, and he is, and he's using lines, the sun in the palm of my hands, like, that's like almost like
that's what it is, though. The arc reactor is literally when he try to build. He's like, "Hey, here's a cell phone,"
and he's getting treated like a fucking puppet. Like,
I blame the technology versus the technology where he came from. I'm sorry.
What bothers me again? It's a Stark thing, right? It's a Stark fucking thing.
Yes.
Oh, Tony Stark, even though he's been dead for so many fucking years,
but he's still
he comes
part of
in
it.
and saves the day. Still, it's like, really, you're gonna do him this bad? Like, and by the way, Tom Holland would have died. He would have died. Think about it.
He would have died.
He got his ass beat just like he did with Vulture, and yet just a little like. What is it? Plot armor, like
plot armor saved them in the show.
Oh, Tony Stark comes to save the day.
Tony does it again. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, I hated that part so much.
Tony in his grave takes a thumbs up. Like, that's the thing that I didn't like. And then after that, I did like the little Easter eggs of a little tribute for Andrew Garfield when you remember Amazing Spider-Man 2 when Lizard was throwing the cars. And Andrew,
skipping. What are we doing now?
No, he's just talking about
the bridge scene when Ock was throwing the cars and Spider-Man was coming with his web and like sticking with the cars and the cars were hanging. I thought that was a little tribute for Andrew Garfield. That's how I saw it.
So then, as soon as that fight scene ends, then Green Goblin comes into the picture. And what's really cool, what I kind of liked and appreciated, was Otto recognizes him. Yeah. Otto was like,
that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, cool, they're addressing this. Like, they're going to bring this up. Mm-hmm. And then Doctor Strange comes in and just saves the day. And
can we talk about... That was a weird edit, right?
Yes.
Weird in what way, though? Like, it's Doctor Strange having a magic portal come through. Like, what? It's weird, is Doctor Strange.
No. It wasn't a portal. It just, like, flashes. Like, it just...
No, it was a portal that just came through.
Did you see that?
No, it was a portal that came through. But
a big-ass portal?
Yeah. But I just felt like that was sort of kind of like...
It was off.
Lazy writing?
Lazy writing, yeah.
It was off. Yeah. There was something off.
No, it was weird, yes.
Okay.
I mean, the thing is like, it wasn't like... How can I
like
say?
you blink and it's like he's in the whatever that shit's called.
I mean, when that happened, I was like, "Wait, what the fuck just happened?"
Exactly.
I mean, that was a little warning sign of like a little tease, like, "Hey, this is going to be probably happening during the whole entire fucking movie."
It was a blink. I might have blinked and missed that. I don't know.
Doctor Strange goes on to explain that people leaked through and that he caught Lizard, so we don't even get to see a fight scene really with Lizard. But
they can afford CGI. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange.
They afford the makeup scene of him.
Doctor Strange kind of got his ass beat a little bit because you can see him kind of scarred up and shit. And then he goes on to his whole explanation. He's like, you fucked this up. You got to catch them all. Like Pokemon.
Gotta catch
it.
But then, like, Peter Parker's like, I got to get my friends involved. Like, well, excuse you? Like, do something on your own. Again, I was so bothered by this first half of the movie. Because they did Doc Ock dirty.
Yeah.
And then again, Peter Parker can't do shit for himself. And so he recruits Zendaya and
I'll give that a pass and we'll talk about that later.
MJ and Ned get involved and they're like fucking Scooby-Doo, exactly like Scooby-Doo at this point.
Why was a Scooby-Doo reference?
Not Warner Brothers.
Hold on, I'm piecing it all together. Right? Nope, don't have enough drinks. Never mind.
Yeah, like I don't know, like.
And so Doctor Strange tells him, "All right, you guys go find him. It's up to you. This is your problem. Peter Parker fucking screwed this up." And so they go and try to find. They first find Electro and Sandman. Sandman. It's weird that he kind of remembers. Like it's not weird anymore now in retrospect, but. He thinks this is his Peter Parker Spider-Man. He's like, hey, we left good. Remember, we're bros, right? So I'm going to help you out. And then he captures both of them.
He flip-flops so fast. I'm like...
Yeah, that's another problem that I have.
He was like, all right, hey, thank you. Wait a minute, you're not my Peter Parker? Then fuck you.
Yeah, but, I mean,
when can we start?
In that defense, though, like, if you were in his position, though, like, you thought this was your guy, your bro... And then you're in a strange new world. It's like, or at least I recognize one thing. And then he's like, oh, I'm not your Peter. He's like, what the fuck? What the fuck am I then? Like,
but it was way too quick.
It was a bit too quick.
It was a bit sandy all over the place.
Oh my god! Just shut up.
But the fight for Electro, I think I blinked for a minute, for a good while, and because it ended quick.
Yeah, there wasn't much of a fight scene.
It wasn't much of a fight scene.
He swung through some trees and that's it.
Yeah, he basically grabbed the energy, became human, so then he could actually do the.
It was another tribute for, in my opinion, another tribute for Andrew Garfield.
A little bit when he's doing the
whole thing, like, and then out of nowhere.
I'm not saying a tribute, just like a callback.
I did kind of like the explanation.
I think it's a lot of callbacks in this movie.
Yeah. I kind of like the explanation though that because like that they didn't change his ending of when he was in Spider-Man 2. He's like, yeah, he got fucking blown up and he was blue, but then he's like, this new power from this new multiverse is like
change being
gives him his new form. So I was like, okay, cool,
new form. But how do they explain the looking like actual what's his name,
Jamie Foxx?
Yeah, exactly. He's just like.
It's just a new form. It's the multiverse energy. Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, okay.
What's the other?
I will say this because I know I told you guys how I felt about Jamie Foxx in Amazing Spider-Man 2. I know you liked him a little bit more.
I liked his Electro. I didn't like his Max Dillon.
Okay.
Oh, you love those both movies.
I will say his character in this movie was definitely better.
It was better.
It was a lot better.
Different almost. Like, that change.
No. He was a lot more.
He still acted dorky and quirky and shit.
Still, but a little badass cool, where he's just like.
It's a multiverse energy.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, he played Jamie Foxx.
That's what I'm
true.
saying.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, we'll agree on that.
He played Jamie Foxx, and that's why I think I liked it. Like, for him not to try so hard to actually act tough and dorky. He played Jamie Foxx, and it worked perfectly.
Yeah, agreed.
So next, what happens is he gets a call from May, because at some point before this thing happened, right? Aunt May calls Peter, we see Willem Dafoe trying to hide his Goblin glider because he's still got that split personality thing going on, and he doesn't understand what's going on. So I'm kind of curious where in Tobey Maguire's timeline that happened, that he got pulled from, because if he's still unsure about the whole thing, that must have been pretty early, because then he smashes the helmet, he hides the Goblin glider, but he's still wearing his suit, and he tries to find like homeless clothes, like robes and shit, and then finds Feast because Spider-Man was on the promotion bulletin board for it.
But in the movie, it's all right before they died, though.
I will say
that's the last thing they remember.
I will say this Goblin was pulled before the bridge.
But all of them, it's literally right before they died.
But the lizard doesn't die.
But the lizard doesn't die.
Yeah, but so doesn't whatever. But the other guys.
So you can't just say what you did.
No, because they're alive. The other people who actually died came back right before they died. The people who survived.
I almost would say that's debatable. Anyway, that's not relevant. That's not relevant.
Okay. What I'm saying is, but he was always conflicted.
Right? No. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I don't think it matters.
He was more on the Osborn side than the Green Goblin side.
You're telling me that MJ is still falling?
So
when Stacy just came over,
when Peter Parker goes in, finds Aunt May and Green and Norman Osborn just chilling and having a conversation, he's acting like he's completely innocent, has no idea what the fuck's going on,
drinking hot cocoa,
and so brings them to the Doctor Strange dungeon, the Wizard dungeon. And then we get a cool little. I like the cool little dialogue between Norman and Otto Octavius.
Everybody.
And then the banter, and then
I'm
Jamie,
a scientist myself.
And then Max.
Dillon, that was a meme. I laughed. Everyone was like, "It's a meme. It's a meme."
Max Dillon and Kirk Connors have a little conversation. Yeah. Although, since you brought that up, I did find it kind of annoying that a lot of these one-liners from previous films just felt like remember this. Bringing it back just for you guys.
There was one.
It's like literally movie, cut, insert meme, put the rest of the movie attached to it.
Hey, people love the memes.
There was one-liner that they didn't use, and I was disappointed. Green Goblin. It was a Godspeed Spider-Man.
No, I don't know.
That would have been a cool line for the
Towards the
building
ending.
scene,
What?
right when she dies. That would have been
That would have been fucked up.
That would've been-
Godspeed at me.
Well,
No, but Godspeed Spider-Man because when he throws the bomb.
Oh, yeah.
I do want to argue though that when we're talking about the timelines or whatever, but Green Goblin could have gave up control for Harry. Remember, he says, I saw you through his eyes, right? So he could have gave up control just to watch how. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Huh?
He did that on purpose.
Yes. Yes.
Damn, I love the way you think. Drink
Right.
some more.
Red card. No, I'm just kidding. No, that's good actually.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. That's
He
really
says
good.
it, I think so.
Okay, so then we get the whole band together,
Yeah.
but then Doctor Strange intervenes because it was Alfred Molina, it was Doc Ock that says like we all died at Spider-Man's hands, and Doctor Strange confirms that, and then Peter Parker is like so conflicted because he just had a conversation with Aunt May and was like, hey, this is your responsibility. You this is part of you, like to give them a second chance to help them. That's what we do. And so he's so conflicted that he actually just was like, you know what, fuck you, Doctor Strange. Like, I'm gonna take this thing. You're not gonna kill him yet. I want to help them before you do this. Before he sends them back to their universes to die.
But that's what I'm saying. How does that help them if they go back to right before they die?
That's
right?
too much. Multiverse of Madness. That's-
I do got something to say about this.
What do you get?
That's why I drop it down to a yellow. So pretty much the whole world knows that, you know, Dr. Molina is Doc Ock. Everybody knows that, you know, Sandman is a prisoner. Lizard is, you know, causing havoc.
Okay.
All this stuff. You can cure them, but when they go back to their worlds, they're fucked. They're going to prison.
Yeah, but it's better than being dead.
You know, that's true, but still though, like you're still like their lives are done regardless.
True. Yeah, true.
So that's one of my biggest nitpicks.
Okay, so we get then a fight scene between Spider-Man and Doctor Strange, which is very Doctor Strange heavy.
Yes.
Because they go into the mirror dimension shit, you know.
Which I totally forgot about.
26,000 trains are popping up out of nowhere. Things are shattering.
Leonardo came out
We
out
get
of
Strange
nowhere.
versus Spider-Man, Strange's cape versus Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like it was cool though. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I thought the visuals for it were just as good as they were in Doctor Strange. And my favorite part of the fight, as dorky as it is, the fact that he actually used his intelligence to get himself out of that situation.
What's cool in magic? Math.
I wanted to cheer up. I wanted to cheer, but no one else did. It was like,
you
okay. no.
I laughed. Yeah.
But I appreciated it because, like, yes, like no one's fucking helping you in this situation. You got yourself out of this. Like that's the Peter Parker I want to see.
And I have to mention this as well. His suit didn't help him.
Yeah.
His suit is off.
I got it, yes.
Wondering why? Just
So
gotta
then-
mention that. But I'm wondering why. Why is his off?
So what happened, right? What I called it too was like something's gonna happen that's gonna leave Doctor Strange out of the picture for a long time, and this is what happened, right?
Yeah.
He gets stuck because Parker uses some math to tie him up in his dimension, takes his little sling thing and his sling thing and the box,
In the box,
and then
yeah.
just closes that portal, and then Doctor Strange is stuck there until however else he gets out. Who knows? And then Ned gets the sling thing or whatever.
So he is magic or isn't?
I think they're just toying around with that.
just toying
for-
around. It was like more of like mean.
I think it's just for kicks and giggles.
Okay, I'll just
Yeah.
leave it at that. I don't know.
Maybe a prop. Like maybe it's gonna be like merch.
So,
Like get
Sure.
your Doctor Strange ring and pretend like
so
you're opening
then,
up
so
a
then we
portal.
get like this whole montage of Parker trying to help everyone through the power of science,
I guess
which
it was a
I
montage.
appreciated. I was like, "Thank you, you're finally putting science into this."
Wait,
movie.
was it science?
with
Yeah.
whose
Was it science?
technology?
Was
Yeah.
technology, yes.
Yeah. Was it science?
But he's still doing it himself.
Yes.
Tony Stark took out a thumb out again.
Well,
But,
no, technically.
So he does cure Doc.
Osborn is helping him.
Yes, he does cure Doc Ock.
And I
He does.
did. That's the thing that annoyed me. Because we barely got any Doc Ock.
We got a bit.
We got the stuff. If you really think about it, just the chunk of it was that
We
fight
got a
scene.
bit.
It was that fight, and then the ending, which I called it as well. I'm just saying, I was halfway right.
Halfway.
Okay, so then
But yeah.
that happens. They're fixing each other. Electro and Flint Marco are kind of like back and forth. We're like, do we really want this? Do we not? And then Willem Dafoe fucks everything up because apparently he was about to sabotage everything. And then Spider Senses kicks in.
Was that too much or just about right? That scene about the sense.
Like how he's like kind of honing
like
in on
walking
it.
around. Yeah, what too much or just right?
No, well, I was trying to figure out what exactly was he aiming
because there was
for.
a Jonah Jameson. They were sending up the cops and everything, right?
Yeah.
And then I was like, I thought it was that, but then it's like
did Goblin have anything in his hand?
No, what I got from was that he was sensing the room.
Yeah.
As in he had a feel like he was using the force. It sounds stupid, but that's the only way that I could really.
Stupid.
The 13,000 Star Wars reference in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, regardless though, like because he was looking left side, that's Dr. Octavius. He was looking right side, that's Sandman, and then he was like looking around Electro side, and then when he was looking straight at Goblin, he was like, I feel a lot more threatened. My sense are feeling threatened from Goblin a lot more. So that's when he used his web shooter.
But what did he web up, right? If I was Green Goblin,
I thought it was something.
I would just play it off, be like,
or his hand.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, why'd you web me, Peter? I thought we were on the same side. Like, I don't understand why. Like, what did he web, or what was threatening about his hand that kind of gave him away to be Green Goblin? Like,
I thought there was. I don't know.
I was like, is he holding a knife? Is he holding something that's gonna blow up people? Like, I wasn't sure.
Well, the thing is,
the scene.
It was a bit odd, but like, I got used to the
I got it, but
I like the Spidey sense.
So then things are unraveling.
I like the tinkle.
Aunt May goes on a run, trying to escape with the cure to Green Goblin, which doesn't make sense now that I think about it. Why she could have just thrown it, staff, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I think because he made it, so maybe it wasn't a cure.
Well, true, but I'm just saying, like, why did they wait until they were like at the bottom floor?
I think she just wanted to stab him with something. That's what it was. There's nothing.
But why couldn't she stab him right then when he was webbed up?
I don't know.
or it made him more powerful.
So we can get the fight scene.
That's what I was worried about. Yeah. So the movie can happen. Don't sue me.
Yeah. But the fight scene after that was fucking awesome. Goblin was fucking. It was so fucking awesome to see Peter Parker punching him, and he is just smiling like you're a fucking.
It reminded me of the Joker and Batman scene.
Yeah.
Was that or was that the end? I don't know. But that
this, and I don't feel bad for saying this, but I loved seeing the shit beat out of Peter Parker.
Yeah.
I was like, yes. And it was funny because I told all the other people at my school that I teach at, because they were asking me, like, what do you expect to see? I was like, I want Peter Parker to suffer in this movie. I want people to die around him. I want him to feel as much pain as I did watching his first two movies. Like, I want him to just be near death and feel all that, and for him to figure out how to get out of that. And so that fight scene, I loved it so much that just Goblin was going full force on him, and he didn't know what to do, because like if you think about it again, and now in retrospect, thinking I kind of appreciate it was that I think it was a moment of realization that he doesn't have anyone to save him. He doesn't have anything anymore to like get him out of this situation, and so he's trying to figure shit out, but he doesn't know what to do because he's never done it for himself.
You get a little help from Happy right there.
No.
Happy didn't do anything in that.
He's like, run, go.
And he still gets shot in the shoulder.
A little bit. I'm just
talking about the fight scene, though. I'm talking about the fight scene.
The fight scene. No, yeah, but in this one, Peter fucking suffered. Like that.
Oh, yeah, of course.
He got his ass whooped. Like.
And then at the top it all off,
I mean,
Goblin kills Aunt May.
Yeah.
Which we do get the whole great power comes great responsibility line. Which I don't
cry.
I don't know how you feel about it though. I actually
do you think it was forced?
You know what?
I don't know.
Mike, do the intermission thing, and then we'll talk about that scene really quick, and then the 30 minutes of fan service, and then the ending.
Oh, okay. Intermission.
You're not gonna finish it?
Yeah, right? Come on, man.
Fuck. I mean, intermission. What you gonna do with intermission? How does the song go again?
Oh my god. Okay, so the great power comes great responsibility line. First, before I even address that specifically, I loved, this is going to sound bad and probably weird, I loved everything about that scene, that whole death scene, the crying, the SWAT team coming in, except for Aunt May.
When she died?
Just her.
Just her?
I felt like she did nothing in Homecoming and Far From Home to really justify this, like her being the one to die.
Right.
To bring Peter Parker into this weird rage kind of mode.
Who are we gonna get, Uncle Ben?
Well, no, that's what I'm saying though. Like it felt very weird to me because I was like, I feel nothing for you, but I'm feeling what Peter Parker is feeling. And I get that because I am in my head. What the Spider-Man PS4 game did very well was like you went back to your own iteration of Aunt May and you know how impactful Aunt May is in Peter Parker's life. So I was like, I get that, but I just didn't connect with Marissa Tomei's Aunt May.
Also, we got a little bit of Tony Stark before too, so
I think this Aunt May for sure was on the side. She wasn't much involved in this Spider-Man except for just being his aunt.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying what I'm saying, but I agree. Yeah, it was.
I would say I thought it was an impactful scene of how Tom Holland acted.
Yeah.
You know,
he made it work, but
he made it work.
Yeah, he made a lot of shit work in this movie.
But the thing is, with her, I will go on Southside. I didn't really feel anything except for, holy fuck! Like they really killed a character that this Peter Parker loves.
Yeah, I was, but yeah, I was afraid they weren't gonna do it. I'm like, But I also saw the foreshadowing with Happy when he's crying about the breakup or whatever, and I'm like, that's funny, but I'm like, oh no, it's gonna happen, isn't it? Because he's already crying about the breakup, and we didn't really cry when he saw her, I guess, dead, or at the future whatever stuff. But
he got emotional, but the thing is that he had all these guns pointed at him, and he saw that Peter was there. So he had to react quickly to help.
Which I'm saying, he still helped a little, a nudge, whatever you want to call it. But
he was just in this movie just to be in it.
There was some.
I don't know. I don't want to make that judgment call yet on Happy because like he was in it, but I don't think my focus was never really on Happy the entire movie. But I think maybe because remember they were close in Far From Home on the airplane scene where he's having that whole one-on-one.
The Iron Man, he's like, oh, you remind me of, and then he's like, yeah, I love Def Leppard or whatever he says. It's the Iron Man song.
Yeah.
I just saw that again.
So let's address the quote though. This is the first time in the Holland films that we get the "with great power comes great responsibility" line. I'm indifferent about it. I have a suggestion that will make me kind of appreciate it more.
Seen it a few times,
but I almost think for the purpose of this movie, they almost just put it in there just so that we can have that dialogue later.
But like I said, as a new viewer, it might hit a little different.
It might. I feel like for a new person, it means nothing.
It means something new because you were like, oh, okay. Instead of seeing it twice, 3 times, you're like, hey, it doesn't mean anything because
I'm trying not
done
to
maybe better.
I mean, I'm trying not to compare the first Tobey Maguire film, but when Uncle to the line, but the thing is that when you're trying to make that line very impactful, because it is an impactful line, the first Tobey Maguire movie, Uncle Ben is actually saying a great speech to him.
And it's not even about him coming into the hero. It's just him.
No, it's just him becoming as a man, just a man,
just growing up.
Yeah, and of how much Uncle, and I guess it's just the way that they
still comparing.
Because Aunt May, I forgot what's the actress's name for Aunt May.
But even still, Andrew Garfield's rendition of Uncle Ben in that line is again not about him being the hero. It's just him being responsible, being a responsible man and being a righteous man. Like that's what it's all about. That's why this line I felt like I appreciated they tried to throw it in there, and it didn't feel like they kind of forced it in there. And I like that it came from Aunt May and no one else. Because I got on Tony Stark's case in Homecoming when he was trying to
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But I think what I'm going to wait for to make my final call on that scene is what they do in the animated series, because they still have not addressed his Uncle Ben. So if his animated series addresses an Uncle Ben and he says that line in that cartoon series, and this scene now becomes a callback to that wins it for me.
Question. Have they ever foreshadowed Uncle Ben? I don't remember.
He said the suitcase.
We talked about this. So the only time in Homecoming, Peter Parker just mentions that Aunt May is going through a lot of things that happened recently. And then in Far From Home, it's the briefcase with the initials on it.
Okay. But, all right. So going back into now we have a apparently second death on Holland's universe. Because when you look at the other Spider-Mans, they all had two important deaths in their life, right? Tobey Maguire, he had his Uncle Ben, and then he had Harry.
Yeah.
Right? And then for Andrew, he had Uncle Ben and Gwen Stacy. Now in this one,
it's Tony Stark and Aunt May.
Is there a third death person in Holland?
No, I think they could hear. But I think Uncle Ben doesn't count because maybe he wasn't Spider-Man. They don't explain it. Whatever. Uncle Ben's death didn't make him Spider-Man. In my mind, Aunt May makes him Spider-Man because you see now the resetting, like the actual Spider-Man living by himself in New York.
Let's not address that yet.
Oh, okay.
We're going too far. But the thing is, what made him?
I always do.
What made him? But if you're gonna say that. What made him become Spider-Man when
it's Tony Stark?
Well, no, he was Spider-Man, but the ethos of Spider-Man, the great power, because when you become Spider-Man, I can keep going on because you have the other Spider-Man to see how.
Right.
But we'll get to that.
But the thing is that what I'm trying to get at is that when Tony Stark came out, found them in Civil War, and there was already YouTube videos of a kid swinging around, with all this stuff and everything like that. What made him do that?
All these three movies is like the first, 20 minutes of the original Spider-Man movie.
That's what the animated series is going to try to
freshman
address.
year, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully.
So right after that death, then we get one of my favorite scenes where it's just that beautiful shot of the rain coming down on him and the look of defeat and suffering that he has in his face. And it was perfect to have J. Jonah Jameson, this person that's always been giving him shit this entire time, just beating more down on him verbally. And it's like, that whole zooming out was like, I want a poster of that. Like, that's cool. That's like fucking awesome.
Can we assume that he got more famous? Because we saw a scene of him doing it like in a room full of files, and he's like on a stage, or...
Oh yeah, that's true.
They barely glossed over that. Like, he's in a green screen doing his report, and then...
probably because he never stops badgering Spider-Man.
But do you think...
No. I think that's just like... That's like his home, which he's obsessed with Spider-Man and getting, tearing him apart. And so he has his own studio, though, where he does, like, all the other stuff. So when he's off the clock, he's still on the clock.
Okay, let's do that.
Wasn't he in his boxers as well too, right? He had a suit and he was in his boxers.
Right, so now thus begins the 30 to 40 minutes of fan service.
Was it just 30 or 40?
It was pretty long.
That sounds short. It was only 30 or 40?
It was halfway of the movie. It was already
So the movie's an hour?
So we transitioned to Ned and MJ, and they haven't heard from Peter. And so they're trying to find Peter. And then they remember, because of a little spark, that Ned still has the thing. And he's like, oh, if you think it, maybe you can will it into existence. And so, lo and behold, he does the first one.
He's like, take us to Peter Parker.
And then we see going down that portal, the skinny Spider-Man coming through. And as he gets closer, they're like, holy shit, who is this person? And then this is when the crowd in the theater starts cheering and jumping. And then when he unveils his mask, it's like, oh my God. It was like, what do we think it was?
No, there was like, oh. Not even like a few people, oh.
I'm gonna say that I think my theater cheered more for Andrew Garfield than they did for Tobey Maguire.
Same.
No,
I'm the only one that fucking yelled for Tobey.
No,
I even yelled.
People started clapping for Tobey, and Andrew was like, "Oh, that's the guy." Tobey was like,
very weird experiences then.
Yeah.
And then, we don't have to go. I mean, you guys can address whatever you want, but I think that whole entire interaction was hilarious, and
it was more of like that meme, like Spider-Man pointing at each other.
Oh yeah, when they did, because then they brought in Tobey because we were like, oh, you're not our Spider-Man. Eventually, once they start throwing bread at him, and then they was like, okay, find Peter Parker, and then Tobey Maguire pops in. What I loved about this scene though was the fact that we got exactly what I've been saying. Tobey Maguire is the best Peter Parker because he comes in as Peter Parker, and Andrew Garfield is the best Spider-Man. He comes in as Spider-Man, and it's like beautiful. Sony, you know what you're doing. You're listening to me. Like you're getting it finally.
I might be on the only side. I was like,
on the fringe.
On the fringe. I think for this scene, I would have loved for their introduction to be more dramatic.
Dramatic?
Of at least, okay, for an example, right? For Tobey Maguire, when he already killed Aunt May and when he's about to throw the bomb, there's a scene where where it's a little like slow motion.
Oh, where one of them could have came in.
Would have grabbed it with his web.
But then we wouldn't have the death scene.
Yeah,
no, Aunt May would have died already. But
okay. I kind of see what you're saying. You want it to be more dramatic.
More dramatic, a little bit more like, like holy shit, they're in the movie. Instead of like, okay, let's put them in the kitchen. But it was cool. It was funny. It was nice. It was like, it was really funny of how like Tobey comes in and, the best friend, what's his name again? Ed? No, my bad. Ned was like, wait, why don't you have your suit? He's like, well, I don't advertise it. Like,
that's what he
said. So did their Spidey sense activate each other's Spidey sense? Because once he steps out, then he's going to...
I just want to say, though, for the record, that Tobey Maguire won that fight.
Yes, he did.
That fight?
I'm just saying, he webbed him last.
Yes.
He was the last one, and then Andrew Garfield was
like... My buddy that I went to go see the movie with, he cried when he saw Andrew Garfield.
Really?
He cried, and he brought up a good point. And he said that he loved Tobey Maguire, and he says Tobey Maguire is the best Spider-Man. I'm on the same page with him when he's like, he cried is because Andrew Garfield didn't get a fair script and a fair movie to prove everybody that he was actually a really good Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. Because Amazing Spider-Man was shit. It was the worst Spider-Man movie in my opinion. And after that, like the whole studio like fucked him over and he just gave up. And he loved Spider-Man. He grew up always wanted to become Spider-Man.
Well, I'm surprised he actually, because there was a...
What was it?
He said something stupid.
No, it was just... he didn't... There's a lot of what's consistent about all the interviews and whatever you want to go into is that
you tell me
he didn't like that it was very business, that it was very like because he comes off as like
Sony's fault.
He comes off as he truly understands the character, and we can clearly see that in Amazing Spider-Man, like parts of 1 and then definitely in 2 that they didn't really do the character justice, or at least Peter Parker justice. And it seemed like Andrew Garfield kind of wanted to chime in more and be like, no, you got to do this and this. But they were like, no, we're making a movie. This is our money. We're going to do it this way. And so that's what he didn't like. So, the creative differences, so to speak.
The creative differences.
But what I really loved about this 30 minutes of fan service though was that they kept true to what we I think loved about these characters.
Yes.
That Tobey Maguire Peter Parker was very dorky and very mild mannered and was like awkward but in all like the right ways, and like it felt right. And then with Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield being being the best Spider-Man rendition, like his quips were still there. Like especially when he was fighting Lizard, and he was like, "Wait your turn!" As he webs him up, it's like, "I'll be right back." I'm like you still got
my
it.
favorite one, he's like, Spider-Man 3 or Peter Parker 3 or Spider-Man 3, and he go,
he was so. He was so awkward.
He was
though.
good.
It was funny. He's like,
awkward,
"I love you guys."
I was like, where was this? Yeah.
But anyway, they go find Tom Holland. They go find Peter Parker, Tom Holland, Peter Parker, and then they have this conversation about what it means to be.
Spidey sense too. He's like,
yeah, what it means to be Peter Parker and why all of these things aren't just happening for no reason. What you do, and I love that conversation. Is what you do with it is what makes you become who you are. And they all addressed their biggest like fails was for Tobey Maguire was the Uncle Ben scene. For Andrew Garfield was the Gwen Stacy scene. And so like and what I also liked was that Tom Holland Peter Parker was kind of given into a little bit of rage, and he was like, I want to fucking kill Green Goblin. Like I'm pissed. Like this is unfair, and like he's so like pent up with all this anger that he wants to unleash it. And the other two are trying
become Spider-Man yet. That's what I'm saying. He's not become the
other two try to like counter him and try to make him cope with it. And it was like a therapy scene, but it was like, this is good. This is good writing.
I would say that was like one of the best scenes in the movie, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Of at least dialogue.
I could just watch a movie all three of them just hanging out, man.
The little banter that they have.
All the banter was just.
It's like, hey, you want to go get pizza? I will pay for that. Like a 2 hour of them just having conversations, sitting down and just swinging.
Even
how does the web come out of you?
Yeah, even just talking in theory about all them meeting up, and it's like that was a thing. It's like
wedlock. You don't get wedlock.
I wish I could fight an alien. I'm lame. I was like, can we talk about that? Like, you are not lame. Yeah, exactly. You are amazing.
So good. Everything is like, I fought a space alien and in space. What?
It's like, I'm still stuck that you fought an alien in space.
What was it? And then you fought a mechanical rhino. That's amazing. Like, you're awesome.
And when you were going to bring up the existential crisis, like, oh, yeah, I had a weblock once. He was like, oh, yeah. I was like, an existential crisis thing. He's like, oh, yeah, tell me, I know about that. Like, it was so well written. And I didn't think, and this is where I had most of my doubt, was like, I just thought they were going to bring this in to save the day, and then that was it. They fleshed out. And then one of my favorite scenes of the movie, the whole science room scene. I'm sorry, I'm a nerd. Like, I love that. Like, that is Peter Parker. Like, and even Andrew Garfield puts on the coat.
Yeah, he puts the coat on.
I was like, this is beautiful. This is perfect. Like, this scene is exactly what I want. They're all doing science things because that is what makes Peter Parker.
And I also like that. He's like, hey, you got a best friend or whatever. Also, that was also you would know better. It's like I would never be coming. What if that actually happened?
I would never.
No, because Ned. It's weird because this rendition of Ned Leeds is nothing like any rendition of Ned Leeds in the comic books. But Ned Leeds is the name of the person that becomes Hobgoblin.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what makes this funny is because
nobody knew nobody.
Because eventually Ned Leeds becomes a villain and goes after Spider-Man. And so when Tobey Maguire brings that up, and then Ned's like, I will never, ever come back and kill you.
It's so good.
And I will never hate you. I will always be your best friend, always.
But, man, I love that science scene. I love that they're figuring shit out. And, like, the fight scene was awesome. I don't think... Well, the fight scene overall, where they're all fighting all the villains.
The ending. Okay, the ending. Yeah.
Well, it's not the ending. It's the ending of all three of them.
Ish.
But,
okay.
But, like, I think it was more than what I expected. But I feel like a lot of the fight was just really the Spider-Men doing stuff that Spider-Men do. And then the villains just kind of were like, I'm here. Now I'm here. Now I'm here. Like, they did nothing really to be that interactive with them. Mm-hmm. It was just the Spider-Man kind of doing the shit that they do and, like, climbing a scaffold and, like, you know, the backflips and shit. Because Because especially Electro was like, dun, 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 dun. I'm like, okay. And then Sandman was just doing a tornado thing.
Lizard,
and then Lizard was just there.
crawling.
Just their number one special move or something? Is that
No, just like have an actual fight scene. Like if you go back and watch the Lizard from Amazing Spider-Man 1 and that library, the high school fight scene, like why can't we have something like that?
Didn't the Lizard go to high school? I thought I saw that, right?
He was chasing the people.
That happened a little bit. I do like that scene where they're like, hey, we gotta work as a team. It's like, we never worked as a team. It's like,
but
hey,
I do. I'm the Avengers. That's great. What is that?
You in a band?
Is that a band? Is that a band?
That was great too.
You guys don't have the Avengers in your universe?
How is this helping?
I will say this though, like with the villains, what you mentioned, I would have loved more encounter like with let's just say Toby and Green Goblin.
Yeah.
No interaction whatsoever.
The closest, that was
Dish more. At the
You know, I would have loved for Toby to bring up something about Harry.
Yeah.
You know, or even
I
with
can't afford even talking about Harry because of James Franco. Right?
Oh, yeah. Well,
I need to bring up his name. Gotta pay him money.
I think the only interaction that we got was Andrew Garfield and his villains.
No,
Lizard.
well, we also got Doc Ock and Toby.
Yeah.
Hey, Toby and
He's
Sandman.
like, oh, you're all grown up. He's like, trying to do better, which is a callback to Spider-Man 2.
Toby and Sandman.
Not really.
Yeah,
because the problem with that, I don't know if anyone really notices this. And then I was like, when I first saw it, I was like, is this what I think it is? And then when I went on social media, I was like, someone is on the same page as me. Those scenes when Flint Marko is going back to, whatever, I forget his name, and then Kirk Connors going back to whatever, are straight copies from the original movie.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, are they really? Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because if you go back and watch Spider-Man 3 where Sandman's like kind of turning, it's the exact same scene. And when Kirk Connors is like sitting back and then like turning back to human, is the exact same scene.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, are they in this fucking movie?
And people were clapping and cheering. I'm like, I don't think they're really in this movie though.
No, because they're CGI. Man.
Yeah.
They don't. Yeah. I don't know how much they got paid or
because even my brother the whole entire time was like, couldn't he just become a regular person? I was like,
yeah, he could have. Yeah,
he could have.
That was a weird thing, and I was like, is it because of this multiverse that he can't do it? Because the last thing we see of Sandman...
Which one? Lizard or Sandman?
Sandman.
The last thing we see of Sandman was that he was in his human form talking to Peter, and then he floats away.
Yeah,
pixie dust, floating away, and then that's it. And he's like...
With his butterflies.
And I'm like, I know why they can't turn him here, because they can't pay the actor.
Yeah.
Like, they couldn't get him on board. So I was like, okay, fine, whatever. But...
That makes sense, yeah.
So anyway, cool fight scene. I thought it was done well. At this point, for me, I was at a yellow. I was like, this fan service was done good enough.
I was right.
I'm okay.
I was right.
You know, this is at this
what
point.
What are you right about?
At this point in my head, I'm like, okay, this is better than Far From Home. It's a hell of a better than Homecoming.
Yeah.
This is an okay movie. I'm fine with it. I'm gonna accept it. And then we get this fight scene with Peter Parker, Tom Holland
on the Shield,
and Green Goblin.
Oh wait, real quick. So in this universe, okay,
yeah,
all right.
Well, no. It's they're building that on. They're building the shield on the.
It's bronze. It's not because it got rust or whatever turned into lime or whatever. Statue of Liberty was bronze.
I don't know.
So the movie can happen.
No, it's a universe. It's bronze. It's not like our limeish, greenish. Because the bronze was brown, like copper. Brown.
I didn't
I
really
thought
notice.
it was green.
Yeah.
It was not green.
It was dark, man. I couldn't see. I had my glasses on and everything.
Rewatch it. I'm just saying.
I watched it with my flashlight.
You did rewatch it.
Should watch it with your flashlight.
So this fight scene is probably my favorite fight scene in this entire movie. Just of the pure brutality that Peter Parker just unleashed on Green Goblin. The fucking punches, the webbing him and taking him to the knee, just like and getting ready to stab him with his own glider. I'm like, and this is why I got even angrier at the post-credit scene, because this would have been the opportune moment to have a symbiote nearby and to attach to that shit. Because
That's the what?
Because that was like exactly what
Peter.
what Peter Parker Venom should be. And I was like, are they gonna do it? Where's he coming in? Where's Venom? Where is he in the background? Am I not seeing this? But no, they didn't do that shit. I was like, why? That was such a perfect moment. That's like what Venom wants.
It'd be a perfect moment, but Tom Holland, the other Tom, fucking Ronnie, Sony, Marvel,
what was
Disney.
What was pretty cool though was that just as he was about to stab Green Goblin with his own glider, we get a sort of a weird callback of Tobey Maguire coming in and save Green Goblin, Norman Osborn, and holding the glider and kind of fighting against Tom Holland.
But would it be fitting if he died?
Green Goblin?
No. Toby.
Let me tell you.
I was.
As soon as I heard, as soon as I heard the sound, I clenched a fist. I was like, "You better not fucking do this! I swear to God, I'm walking out of this theater. If he dies, I'm dead. I'm done.
Yeah.
Don't do this to me." But luckily, he didn't die.
Yeah, I screamed out.
Became a joke after, but I think it would have been fitting though if it actually happened.
Well, in my theater, I screamed
For another
out.
Spider-Man becomes Spider-Man, and they're called back to.
I see what you're trying to say, but I wouldn't like it.
Yeah. in my
theory,
in my
personally,
theater,
like, fuck off.
in my theater, I screamed out "fuck you."
Yeah.
I screamed out, and a couple of people like they didn't even like reacted or anything. I literally was the only one that said "fuck you." Like I would have been mad if they killed him off. Like, don't give me this bullshit. Like, oh, Toby. I'm gonna like Toby going to Tom. I give you the torch now to become a better Spider-Man than I can be.
But they didn't.
They didn't. Thank God.
Green Goblin gets cured because Andrew Garfield throws the cure. Tom Holland catches it and stabs him. But I think Tom Holland really wanted to stick it right through him.
I saw that.
He held back a lot, which I'm hoping. In now thinking far ahead is that rage is going to come back at some point. And I feel like we'll talk about it later, but I just think, like, because his rage I don't think is fully gone. I think he's still pissed off about this whole situation. Anyway, shit's going down. Let's address this other thing really quick because this annoys me. It was heavily speculated, and people wanted it so bad for Andrew Garfield to be the one that saves MJ as a sort of redemption. Fuck you. Like,
I
really?
thought it was fine.
Why? This MJ has no impact on this Andrew Garfield character. You lost. You sucked at that. I'm sorry.
He got his redemption.
This isn't redemption. Oh, because you saved someone else from a different universe? That has nothing to do with you. Like, it doesn't change. It doesn't mean anything.
It means something to him. Alright? As you could see, as he was crying.
It annoyed me because, like, even when it was speculated, when I first heard that idea, I was like, I don't understand that because I get it in a broad scope. Like, yes, he's redeeming himself, but it would be maybe more impactful if it was an actual Gwen Stacy, someone that was very similar to a Gwen Stacy that he had in his universe. But it's not. It's MJ, who's a completely different character than any of the love interests in the other two Spider-Man films. Yeah. So him saving her is just saving another citizen. Like, it has no impact to that scene.
He saved another Spider-Man's loved one.
And that he couldn't save his own.
So you're saying Spider-Man doesn't love anyone else that he saves?
No, because they're dead.
Yes.
I said no because they're dead already. So there you go.
Yes, exactly.
I just don't think it would. I couldn't. Everyone was cheering, and I was like, "This is dumb."
I was like, "Nobody cares about Ned. Kate, get him."
I didn't cheer, but I said, "Aww."
No, I didn't even.
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
I see where they were going with it.
I see,
yeah,
and
of course.
I didn't hate it.
But I just,
But think about this, and I'm going to go back to Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man whole entire production. How they were supposed to have an Amazing Spider-Man 3, and he was supposed to have his own MJ. So maybe this was a little callback. Like, this could have been something of his own MJ.
No.
He will not listen to you.
Okay, would you have preferred
MJ
Toby?
to die? No, I want. Why would I prefer
You're a
Toby?
fucking ruthless man.
Hey, Sam Raimi. That's a good scene. Yeah, okay, I know. I'll let him know.
Why
Yeah.
would I prefer
Sam
Toby?
Raimi.
Again, it has
Sam
no
Raimi
impact
says,
to
all right.
him. Like, this MJ character is only impactful to this Tom Holland Spider-Man. Like, this is just another person.
And the Andrew
like,
Garfield
what is
knew
Andrew
that.
Garfield gonna do? Oh, sucks to suck, MJ. Like, what? Of course he's gonna go after and save her. That's the Spider-Man thing to do. But it has nothing to do with the Gwen Stacy scene. Like, it's stupid.
But he did mention it though, like I couldn't save my loved one.
Sucks to suck.
Damn. So you're pretty much telling me like he should have swam right next to MJ. Fuck you with a middle finger.
Well, I really thought MJ was gonna die. I really thought MJ was gonna die. And
You
then
thought I called out May. You thought MJ.
I thought I wanted everyone to die because I want him to suffer.
Doctor Strange dies.
But then, okay, so kind of like, right, Green Goblin's, everyone's cured at this point, right? Everyone's cured. Tobey Maguire's not dead. The friends are there, and Parker's still like, shit's going down. Like, the whole multiverse is breaking apart. All these other villains are coming through, and he's like, you know what?
I did see Rhino. Anybody see
I
Rhino,
saw Rhino.
Scorpion,
I saw anime Rhino.
Craven.
Craven
I
the
didn't
Hunt.
see,
Yes.
Craven was the first one,
I'm like,
and then there was Rhino, and then Scorpion.
I didn't see
Scorpion. But it was the animated version of those characters.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
You see that, or did you see that
It was
somewhere
literally.
I just saw silhouettes. I didn't know they were the
I
animated
saw
versions.
silhouettes. That's it.
I thought about the animated version of Rhino.
Where'd you see that at? What YouTube video at?
No, I'll be for real.
But okay, but anyway, so the multiverse breaking out, and he knows that the only solution is to have people forget that he's Peter Parker. And I really thought in my head at this point, I was like, I'm okay with this movie so far, but this is going to be wrapped up nice and neat where everyone's going to have a happy ending. Then I'm going to be pretty pissed because then you just got me through this whole adventure for really nothing at this point.
I think Nick
But
Cage.
no,
no,
because we're coming up to why I'm giving us a green card.
Oh,
So,
all right. I
so
noticed it
he's
too.
like, Doctor Strange, just do it.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. Like, I can't have it my way. I can't have everything the way that I want it to be. So this is the only solution.
So the Band-Aid scene.
This is the only time that I can save everyone at the cost of everyone forgetting who I am. And so they did it. They made everyone forget that he's Peter Parker. And now he's literally on his own. He has no one because Aunt May is still dead. All they did was just change the fact that they know Spider-Man's Peter Parker. They don't know him anymore. But we did get this little like love moment between him and MJ saying like, I don't want this to happen. Because for MJ it's very impactful because he pretty much like changed her life.
Yeah.
And she doesn't want to let that go. Like this, they kind of hint a little bit in the last movie like how bad her like growing up is, like her father and everything, like hinted a little bit. And so okay, they're still kind of carrying that same MJ beat. And so for this positive to go away is like, it's super heartbreaking for her. And so again, that scene really worked out well. There was more emotion in that scene than I think I ever saw in Homecoming and Far From Home together.
Yeah, for sure.
So it was really, really good. And then the next scene right after that is it that he's walking through the city going to
The apartment.
He's walking.
the apartment.
He goes.
Which
he goes to the bakery.
Did you think? No.
I really wanted Dickovich to
No,
come in.
I
wanted to hear it. Rant.
No, I thought about it, but no way, they would not. He's
Oh,
too
that
old.
would've been
He's
really
too old.
cool.
They're not good, but yeah.
It would have been
But-
awesome. Like
but it's-
Rent. No, but you skipped the scene. I thought this was a really good scene of the whole thing with Zendaya and MJ and Ned when he goes to the bakery.
No,
No,
that's after. That's after.
We're not there yet. We literally just got erased. We just erased Peter Parker.
No,
Yeah.
but he didn't. But the apartment is the last part. That's
Is it
the
though?
bakery is the bakery is first and then the apartment.
Is it? That's fine.
Yes.
I don't know. You just saw it more recently
I
than
thought
me.
the apartment was
I
first,
thought so,
then the
but that's fine.
bakery, and then
It doesn't matter.
Okay, well, I don't want to address that yet.
Okay,
Hold on.
okay.
So he's got his apartment though, and which is kind of a cool callback to the first Spider-Man movie because it's a shitty ass apartment.
Really shitty.
It's got bare minimum shit in there, we
Just
see
like
that,
a good New York apartment shit.
we see that he's getting his GED,
Yeah.
which I guess he doesn't go to college, or not yet, right? We're gonna see
he
him
doesn't
eventually
exist,
go to college.
basically.
Well, they don't know who he is.
Yeah.
But then we get, let's go to the bakery scene. Because he has this whole thing written out, this whole spiel for MJ, because he did promise her, he's like, I'm gonna come for you, I'm gonna remind you of all this stuff, and we're gonna be together again. And this is what solidified it for me. This is the
Band-Aid scene.
Just that whole so he goes in, he asks for coffee, he's too nervous because he doesn't know how exactly about it. Then we get the whole, Ned comes in the background, they know each other because they go to the same school, they're friends probably, they wave to each other, and I think you were the one bringing it, who was it that one of you two was bringing up, like, I'm glad they didn't do the kiss scene.
I did. I was like,
him did.
Which I thought in my head, I was like, don't do it.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Don't do it, but they were like, no.
They already do that with Spider-Man and fucking James Franco and MJ.
They were just friends, and then Peter Parker is.
It was very good acting because it was like just someone on their phone, and I was like, "That's real life."
Peter Parker is just trying to build up this courage to tell MJ everything, and the Tom Holland soaking it all in, and this you could just tell the way that they shot this scene, focusing on his face and the way his expression and the fact towards the end that he built up the tears. He suffered. He's still suffering, but yet he knows this is the right thing to do, right? This isn't like, I want my happy ending for myself, to I want us to be together. This is like, no, I see that you guys have good lives, and it would be wrong for me to interfere. And even though he's happy about it, you could tell in his face that this fucking stinks. And that staring scene where he's just looking at her, like, it was right after he was staring at Ned for a while and was really happy about his best friend and just staring at MJ, and MJ's being her quirky self, that whole scene was like, this is the Peter Parker that I want. This is the Spider-Man that I want. This moving forward, like, now I'm sold on this Spider-Man. Like, I want to know where this is going. Because then we get him creating a new suit. On his own. He creates his own damn suit.
Which is the OG suit.
Yes, I think it's
light blue.
I thought it was the animated,
It was like animated, sort of. For some reason, Alex Ross is a very iconic, has a very iconic rendition of Spider-Man costume, and so it kind of reminded me a little bit of that. But it was bright. And I like the fact that he's coming into this hero now, that he's now understanding what it means to be Spider-Man.
Not Iron Man Jr. or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And that whole ending, from the coffee scene to where he's swinging, we finally get him fucking swinging through the city after all this time. That is what won this movie for me.
Also, wrong. So you see him after the fight, before they forget his name. MJ has the cut. So I call it the Band-Aid scene. He sees that Band-Aid when she does that, and that's when he's
reminded of everything. Yeah.
No, that's when he's like, I don't want to put myself in your life because I don't want to endanger you. Like some Spider-Mans before.
Because he's remembering all the shit that he put her through.
Exactly. That's why I call it the Band-Aid scene. He sees the Band-Aid and he's like, oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Thank you for the coffee. I'm gonna go now. But
not in that way, but yeah.
Yeah. But it is very impactful, and I think that's when Spider-Man. Well, there's a bunch of Spider-Mans, but he is becoming the Spider-Man that took, I don't know, a bunch of the movies.
6 hours later.
Yeah, this took 3 movies, and
As I told my other buddy where I worked, it's like, is Sony listening to me? Is Sony listening? I'm like, on all these times I've been bitching about Spider-Man. It's like, I feel like this was perfectly written for me, and I was so happy. I was like, thank God. He's literally got nobody in his life anymore.
It is, but I don't want to call it a cheap reset, but it
is. But I feel like it's needed because it seems like Marvel knows that they can't do this anymore, especially with Tony Stark being out of the picture. They had
a lot of fans. I will say this because after Far From Home came out, right, a lot of people were praising the movie. and everything like that. But true Spider-Man fans like Sal himself, and I would say like I'm not a huge Spider-Man fan, and I know you're not a big...
Are you high-fiving a ghost? Like,
no, I'm gonna let him finish it off.
No, I was saying like, you know, Sal is a huge Spider-Man fan, and I think me and you, Ham, we're Spider-Man fans, but we know the real comic book story of Spider-Man-ish, you know, and stuff like that. Where in Far From Home, even like huge fans were bitching about like, when the fuck is going to be independent? Like, when is he going to rely on his own powers?
Yeah.
On his own spider tinkle, or actually call it Spidey sense?
The Spider Tinkle?
I mean, Peter Tinkle, whatever.
Peter Tinkle? Alright. No, but I'm saying, what you're saying is, in the first one, even more of the second one, because there was more people from Marvel, they literally went to the other end, and now no Marvel person knows him. So we're on the completely other end of the spectrum. So now he can do everything, or hopefully...
Spider-Kid.
Exactly.
And maybe join the X-Men and Fantastic Four.
What is your problem? God damn you! I hate you!
I'm trying to go to the other spectrum here. Whereas, hey, they can't help him because they don't know him, or he can't ask for help because they don't know him, so he is all by himself. There's no reason why anyone would even be next to him, basically.
But wouldn't he be part of the new Avengers?
How? He's gotta prove himself.
Oh, I don't. You fucking. Nobody knows him.
Nobody knows him, but they're gonna know that there's a superhero.
Actually, no. Well, so no one knows Peter Parker.
But they know Spider-Man.
They know Spider-Man because remember that whole thing still happens with Spider-Man. It's just that they don't know he's Peter Parker.
So they know he was in the Avengers.
He has to still be a part of that.
Exactly.
Trying to get that fly.
Oh,
yeah. But then no one knows how
Mosquito
to...
Man.
But no one knows how to reach him. How about that?
I mean, there's
So
Falcon flying around New York City.
what would have been actually a perfect like cherry on top of all that was if he has like a spiel to give at the end of that, like how Tobey Maguire has a spiel at the end of his first movie, like and going into that line of with great power comes great responsibility, like
in a monologue.
Yeah,
Okay.
as he's swinging through the city. That would have been like a cherry on top, but but this now makes me very excited for what movies they're going to come after the fact.
Yeah.
I'm very I want to know where they're going to go with this character now that he's completely on his own and now he knows that he's got to figure shit out on his own. They've done the science thing. I'm going to be pissed if they don't go back to more science stuff. Like they know this movie has proven to me they know what makes Peter Parker Peter Parker. They know what makes Spider-Man. So if they regress on any of this shit, I'm going to be pissed. But again, I think Sony has heard enough of my bitching about their movies.
Also, the first end credit scene, was it the other Tom, Venom?
First one I can see was Tom Hardy, yes.
Tom Hardy, yeah. Remember that bar scene at the end of credits where then Topher Grace was across, right? Yeah. He's like, hey, Venom. No, I don't know. But yeah, I'm just fucking around. I don't know what else to say. I liked it. I recommend it, especially if you've seen all the Spider-Man, 1 Spider-Man, 2 Spider-Man, 3 Spider-Man. Just watch all the Spider-Man.
I'm still going to stick with my yellow. I really did like the movie. I highly recommend it. I think it's one of, I would say it's my top 3 Spider-Man movies for me.
I would say for me as well.
Right. So, the thing is, the movie is very fan service, and that's what makes the movie great. I still think the story is a little lacking still about changing the villains, because like I mentioned,
the first half of the movie.
The first half of it, and then towards the end of it, like I would say the 40 minutes, that's what makes the movie amazing.
For me, it started to really pick up when Goblin and Spider-Man were fighting in the apartment.
That's
when it starts getting starts picking up, and it starts kind of like not necessarily slowing down, but like finding a good pace of like this is what we're leading up to. And then the fan service, the Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield was done way better than I would have expected.
Right, yeah.
But like I said earlier, that first part, like you said right before that could have been at the end of the second movie.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Now, my question is, they did hinted, Jamie Foxx did hinted one thing. It's not, any foreshadowing or anything like that. He did mention, it would be really cool to have a black Spider-Man.
I think that was just... That's just like a fan service thing, though. That's just like, we want to mention.
Well, it was like, what's his name in the first movie? His uncle.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, the Prowler.
Why not? It was
Donald Glover.
He said my nephew.
Yeah, because he plays a character. He plays Aaron, someone who becomes the Prowler, and his nephew is.
It's just an Easter egg, I think.
Too. So I'm gonna put this on the spot, and you guys on the spot. What is your rankings now for all 8 films?
Are we? Because you're weird about this. Are we including the animated film?
No, only live.
No, only live. Okay, so for me, it's still going to be Spider-Man 2 number 1.
Yeah.
I am almost wanting to lock in this movie being my second favorite Spider-Man.
Really?
All right. So
and 3 will be Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 1.
Yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man number 2, Amazing Spider-Man number 2, Amazing Spider-Man number 2, Amazing Spider-Man, and I'll keep going on. There you go. Don't give me time to think. Come on.
Really? I already got my thing locked down. I got my 8th, all 8 ranked.
I was just keep going down the line. Yeah.
For me, of course, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 1. I will put this one on my number 3. Number 4 will probably be Amazing Spider-Man. No, Far From Home. Sorry, Far From Home. And then number 5, Amazing Spider-Man. 6. I'm gonna put Spider-Man 3. 7, Homecoming. And last, Amazing Spider-Man.
I forgot about that movie. Shit.
Amazing Spider-Man.
I did not mean that though. I really forgot about that movie.
I'll hit you up when I see Spider-Man. Super multi-duperverse.
Into the Spider-Verse?
Across
the Spider-Verse?
Yeah, that second one. I'll hit you up when that happens. And I'll give you a list.
It's just because, now when we talk about Homecoming really did not do justice at all.
He already said what he said, and that sort of adds up.
But there was something I thought about earlier about Homecoming that made me actually appreciate Homecoming a little bit more. Was, again, that realization that he has been so dependent on Tony Stark for so long. And then again, just coming into this now understanding that he has to do this on his own. It's yeah.
So you're going to have to tell me, did they just scrap Vulture and Scorpion and the other Electro?
They just don't know who he is.
Yeah.
They faced off against Spider-Man.
Have they scrapped that idea of the characters in his universe? Scorpion, Vulture, and...
I don't think so.
No?
I think erasing Peter Parker from everyone's memory brings a lot more opportunities, more doors.
Well, I'm just saying, I wonder if Sony scrapped the idea of them combining it. That's what...
They can still bring them back, because remember, they all still hate Spider-Man.
Also, I know he's going to be in Morbius, too. That's what I'm saying.
Morbius, I'm so fucking confused.
That's what I'm saying.
And the worst part about it, the movie's coming out in January. You cannot trust a movie that comes out in January.
It's not like they were supposed to be released already by now. So
I'm telling you, I thought it was supposed to come out before Spider-Man.
But I think they saw the movie. They're like, yeah, this movie's kind of shit, so let's just drop it in January.
Yeah, what movies come out in January?
Exactly. Shit movies. And especially a movie who got pushed back from October to January. Even October, you can't even really trust.
We talk about that later.
Anyway,
but
Tom Holland Spider-Man.
Tom Holland Spider-Man.
Finally gets my approval.
Gets your approval.
Finally gets my approval because they put him exactly where he needs to be.
Right.
To prove himself to me.
That's amazing.
Thank you, Sony. Thank you, Marvel Studios, for listening. It took a while. I get it, right? The money, you were waiting for the money to come in to get all this. I get it. I understand. Thank you for bringing this to my attention, finally, once and for all.
Yeah, we'll see what he says the next 3 fucking movies.
Just don't fuck it up. That's it.
Okay, but for the next movie, I want Kraven. Kraven the Hunter.
Here's what I don't want to see in his first solo outing since this movie is Venom, the symbiote. I don't want to see it yet. I want to see it hinted in a post-credit scene that it finally makes it there, and then save it for the second.
He's already there, quote unquote.
Will
He's
you
in
want
Mexico.
Will you want him to
Mexico.
be working at the Daily Bugle next movie?
Yeah, that would have to be
Does
it,
that
though.
make sense?
Yeah, well, because they don't know he's Spider-Man, so it makes sense for him to go back to being the photographer of like, I know Spider-Man, I'll take the pic. It's perfect. That's why I love the ending of this movie so much.
Pictures of your videos nowadays.
No gold card? Not even a close gold card to you?
No, because again, the first half of the movie.
Yeah.
First half of the movie was very rushed. I didn't like the music transitions.
And can we just mention they didn't pull off a Sinister Six?
There's a tree. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, that's
I like
true.
that.
Is this a scientist turned into a tree, or a tree that's a man? No, man, that's a tree.
Well said, Jimmy Fox.
All right. I'm sure we'll bring up something at some point in my life later on in another episode,
Yeah.
but it is super late, so Mike, do that thing you're supposed to do.
Hey guys, follow us on Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube at Drunk Cop and a Teacher, and then send us Send us an email and Ham will reply to you any questions of some sort at drunkcop.ateacher@gmail.com.
Next week we got 8-Bit Christmas and Matrix Resurrections.
Matrix.
HBO Max. I'm gonna watch an HBO Max. Just
Me too.
More convenient. But Ham has no idea what he's doing with his life anymore.
Because he gets the title of the movie, so like.
All right.
I did.
Oh, I wanted to say, for part of my review was, son of a bitch did it. They finally did it. That's all I want to say. Because we kept saying that quote throughout all our episodes.
Yeah.
Like, son of a bitch did it.
Son of a bitch did it.
I guess so.
And that will be my closing words.
All right. My closing words: with great drinking comes great responsibility.
You know, that works in so many marketing schemes.
It actually does. Godspeed, listeners.
Yours was the weakest of all.
Fuck you.